How do you deal with someone who's much bigger and stronger than you when you're training? The reality is I don't change my training at all when I fight someone much bigger and stronger than me. I try to have all of my techniques designed in a way that I know they will scale well versus someone who's much bigger and stronger than me. And in that sense, a lot of people imagine when you fight someone bigger and stronger, like you're going to implement a different game plan. And I think that's a really bad way to think about it. It's very inefficient because the positioning of my opponent's body is going to have a much larger influence on the decisions I make to do than his size. So for example, say I'm fighting a really big, strong guy, and I've decided that for whatever reason, De La Riva guard's really good on big, strong guys. I can't go in there and go, I'm going to do De La Riva guard on him because he may be on both knees, and now I can't grab the ankle because he's on both knees. Or I may say that like omoplatas are really good versus big, strong guys, right? But then he's deadlifted up super tall. And in that case, going underneath or going to De La Riva or doing a bolo might be a good option. So you should be basing all of your decisions in your match based off the body positioning of your opponent. That's what's going to be the most efficient. And if you find a technique that you're doing, you're executing it as in your head and you're supposed to, like you're doing everything by the book as you know that technique, and it's not working, then I would say that there's something you're missing in that technique, or it's actually not the right time for it. So when I roll with someone in my gym who's like 100 kilos or like 220 pounds, or I roll with a featherweight, it's the exact same process in my head. I'm just responding to the positioning and taking what they give me. Now, if I hit a technique that I think it's supposed to finish and I can't finish it on them because they're too big, I might reassess that technique and go, oh, is there a better way I could do that in the future so that it scales well versus a bigger guy, right? Or sometimes I might just completely eliminate that. And of course, sometimes if the guy's so big, like he's like 300 pounds, I might go, okay, well, normally this is gonna work. With someone 300 pounds, maybe I can't hit that. But still then, it's not that I'm looking for a certain technique on a bigger guy. I might shy away from a certain technique on a bigger guy. And that's an important distinction. Exclusionary versus inclusionary, right? So inclusionary would be going, I'm going to try to armbar this big guy, right? Instead, I go, okay, what's his body position? This move is open. Now, while I'm doing that, he may expose a triangle choke, and I may go, oh, I could go for a triangle here. I see the opening, but I know he's so big that that might be dangerous because he might smash through. So I'm not going to take that. So that doesn't change my my decision process that much because I'm just taking what they're giving and I'm excluding certain things. Whereas if you go into a match and you're thinking, I want to do this technique, that's a very dangerous mindset because if let's say I go into a match going, I want to do an armbar. If I go in trying to do an armbar and he doesn't give the pattern for it, my brain is stifled because I'm looking for the pattern of the armbar and he's not giving it. So instead of perceiving the body positioning he's in, which is going to allow my brain to recall the best possible choice I can make, I'm trying to force like a square peg into a round hole. So you won't see the option that's there. So whenever you roll with a big guy, don't fixate on like the good technique for the big guy. Just do what you normally do and be aware of techniques that may or may not work well versus a big guy. And if you have too many techniques that don't work well versus a big guy, then I would urge you to look deeper into the techniques you're using because there shouldn't be that many that you use that don't scale well versus a bigger opponent. I mean, just watch like Lucas Lepre versus that Saif guy. Like Lucas is 167 pounds when he's competing, and that Saif guy was like 350 pounds, right? I think there's a video of Bruno Malfacini fighting, and he fought some guys like 200 pounds. Bruno's like 128 pounds. Mikey versus Saif, he's like 300 pounds. So there's so many examples of people doing good versus people much bigger and stronger than them. Just try not to fixate on that. End rant.